Hi, this is Jennifer Pyank with a Crocheted Simplicity, and this video tutorial is going to help you crochet a linen stitch messy bun or ponytail hat. Let's go ahead and gather our materials. The yarn that I used for the sample in the photos is Bernat Sheepish in the color Femish. For the video tutorial though, I'm going to use two solid color yarns. It'll help show the stitch definition better. I'm going to be using Lion Brand Woolies in the color Fisherman and Blush. Lion Brand Woolies is one of my favorite light worsted weights. Because it is a light worsted weight, if you choose to use something heavier, your gauge could be a little larger, your hat could come out larger. But you can easily adjust that. You'll also need a couple of crochet hooks. The crochet hooks that I'll be using are a 5.5 millimeter and a 6 millimeter. You could use whatever hooks you need to meet my gauge. You'll need a tape measure, a pair of scissors, a yarn needle to weave in those ends, and if preferred, a 2-inch diameter hair elastic for the top of your hat. So go ahead and gather your materials and we'll get started. Now that you've gathered all your materials, we're going to begin the hat by working the stretchy ribbed band. So choose the color you're going to use for your main color, if you're going to use more than one color. I'm going to be using the blush pink for my main color and the color of the band. I'm also going to be making a hat to fit an 18-inch dowel. It'll make the video a little shorter and quicker so that I can touch base on each different section of the hat without boring you to death. So I've added in instructions to the pattern for the 18-inch dowel. You're going to begin your hat band with a slip knot on your hook, and I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook. Now if you know you normally are a looser crocheter, go ahead and drop down a hook size. You can also wait to see after you work a few rows of the band. They're pretty quick to work up. And if it's too loose for you, go ahead and drop a hook size or increase if it's too tight. So for the dowel band, I'm going to begin with a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to work into the back hump of the foundation chain. So we're going to work into these little bumps there. We're going to single crochet into the second chain from your hook, working into those back humps. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for the dowel band, it's only 4 stitches wide. So depending on which size you're making, your band will be wider. Okay, and this stretchy rib band is really simple. You simply chain 1 and turn. We're going to work into the back loops only for the previous row. Single crochet in each stitch across. 2, 3, 4. And to work the next row, simply repeat the same, chain 1 and turn, single crochet in the back loop only of each stitch across. Okay, and we'll do it one more time. Chain 1 and turn, single crochet in the back loop only of each stitch across. That should be enough to get you going on your stretchy rib band. Follow along in the pattern and make your band as long as the pattern states, unstretched. So as you're working your band, don't keep stretching it out. If you think, oh, this is really stretchy, don't keep stretching it out. You could end up causing the finished size of your hat to be off if you stretch it out before you measure. So in the pattern it says to measure unstretched. So don't stretch it out. As you're working, you can continue to measure it, but don't stretch it out until after you've measured. So go ahead and work your band until you get the length that it states in the pattern. For the dowels, it's 9 inches. So my band is 9 inches long. Now you can stretch it and see how far it really does stretch. It's a nice simple band, and an easy one to use to hug the head. So after you've completed the length of your band as stated in the pattern, and we're going to seam the first row to the last row. So don't fasten off after you've completed your band. Simply bring the first row up to meet the last row. Gonna insert my hook back in the loop. Okay, you would have chained one. And then we're going to simply slip stitch the back loop only of the last row to the back loop only of the first row. Insert your hook into the back loop only of the last row. Insert your hook to the back loop only of the first row. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull that loop through all your loops on your hook. Okay, insert your hook into the next back loop only of the last row. The back loop only of the first row. Yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through all loops on your hook. So continue that way across your band. And you should have however many slip stitches as there were stitches in your band. So I had 4 slip stitches for my seam because my band was 4 stitches wide. Okay, then turn your band right side out. And here's where we're going to begin working the body of the hat. Okay, so go ahead and grab your 6mm hook or whatever hook you're going to be using. If you'd like to, you can weave in this end to get it out of your way. I'm going to do that really quick and then I'll meet you back and we'll begin the body of our hat. Now that we've completed our stretchy rib band, we're ready to move on to the body of the hat. But before we do that, we need to count how many rows we worked for the stretchy rib band. Okay? An easy way to do it, you can do it before you join or do your seam for your band, or after you seam. If you count the little bumps sticking up, that's 2 rows. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Count all the way around. I have 36 rows for my band. My 36 rows equaled the 9-inch unstretched length. Now if you look in the pattern, it states how many stitches you need to work for round 1 of the body of your hat. So for the 18-inch dowel, I need to have 48 stitches around, but I only had 36 rows. So I need to figure out how many increases I need to work when I work round 1 of the body of the hat. It's a simple math equation, so you take the number of stitches you need and subtract the number of rows you have. So I need to have 48 stitches and I have 36 rows. So 48 minus 36 leaves me with 12. That means I need to work 12 increases around the band. So what I'm going to be doing is working a single crochet in the next 2 rows and then 2 single crochets in the next row. That'll give me my increase. So chain 1, we're going to work it at the sides of the rows. I'm going to be single crochet in each of the next 2 rows and then work 2 single crochet into the side of the next row. Okay. Single crochet into the next 2 rows and then 2 single crochet into the side of the next row. So go ahead and complete your round 1 and I'll meet you back at the beginning of round 2 and we'll get into the linen stitch. Okay, I've gone ahead and completed round 1 of the body of the hat. And you might notice that it's flaring out just a little bit because you have more stitches than you have rows. And that's good because then it doesn't restrict the stretch of your band. Now we're going to work round 2 and we're going to begin the linen stitch. The linen stitch is an easy stitch. It's a fun stitch to work, but it's pretty simple. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet into the first stitch. And we're going to work an easy repeat. So chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch. We're going to repeat this around the hat. So you'll have a single crochet and then a chain one space, and a single crochet and a chain one space. These chain one spaces are included in your stitch count. So you should end up with 48 stitches again, or however many it says for the size you're making. When you've completed round 2, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. And I'll meet you back at round 3 where I'm going to switch colors. Okay, I've completed round 2. And you notice when you get to the end of round 2, it ends with a chain 1 and skip next stitch. Okay, so you're going to have a chain. Now if you want to switch colors, I switch colors when I join with a slip stitch. If you don't want to switch colors, then simply join with a slip stitch and continue on. Now the way that I switch colors here at this point with that ending with that chain, insert your hook into that first single crochet to join, yarn over with your new color, pull it through your loop, chain 1, remove your hook for a second, and then tighten up that last loop of the old color. If you want, you can secure it with a loose knot until you're ready to weave your ends until later. That'll keep it from loosening up on you. So I'm going to go ahead and just secure it with a loose knot and leave it till later. Okay, now to begin round 3. Round 3 begins with a chain 2. I've already chained 1, so you're going to chain 2. This chain 2 includes your first stitch and your first chain 1 space. Okay, so we're going to skip over the first single crochet. We're going to single crochet into the chain 1 space from the previous round. So not into that stitch. You don't need to worry about fitting your hook into the chain. Just work in that chain 1 space. Okay, so we've chained 2. We're going to skip the first single crochet into that next chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip the next single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip the next single crochet into the next chain 1 space. And we're going to work that repeat all the way around the hat. So that's all there is to round 3. It's pretty simple. So go ahead and complete your round 3 and I'll meet you back at the end and show you how I do my join. Okay, here I am at the end of round 3. My last stitch of the round is a single crochet into the chain 1 space. I'm going to switch colors back to the pink. So I'm going to begin working my single crochet, inserting my hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, but I'm going to complete my stitch with the pink. I'm going to put the pink on my hook and pull through both loops to complete that single crochet. I'll worry about how loose this is in just a second. So then to join the end of round 3, you're going to join with a slip stitch to that first chain. Remember at the beginning we worked 2 chains? We're going to join to the first chain with a slip stitch. Okay, I'm going to chain 1 and remove my hook, and then again I'm going to pull on lightly on the yarn on the inside and secure it with a little knot. Once you get the first couple colors going, you won't need to do that anymore. Okay, so to begin round 4, you have your chain 1 at the beginning. You're going to work a single crochet into that first chain 1 space. We're going to continue around in the linen stitch. So chain 1, skip the next single crochet in the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip the next single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip the next single crochet in the next chain 1 space. Okay. And this is what the linen stitch looks like when you use a couple different colors. You can do it in a solid color. You can switch up your colors by working 2 or 3 rounds of the same color and then working a different color Totally up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and complete round 4. And then go ahead and repeat rounds 3 and 4 until your hat measures what is stated in the pattern. And I'll meet you back at the crown shaping. Okay, I've completed the body of my hat. My hat from the band up measures 2 1/4 inches for the dowel size. And I've ended with a round 3 repeat. I'm going to begin the crown shaping. So jump down on the page to the crown shaping for the size you're making, chain 1, and we're going to work a single crochet 2 together, so a single crochet decrease, into the next 2 chain 1 spaces. So not working into a single crochet, but we're going to work in those the chain 1 spaces. So the first part of the single crochet, you insert your hook into the first chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, skip over that single crochet, insert your hook into the second chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Notice you've worked around your single crochet 2 together around that single crochet. We're going to chain 1, skip over the next single crochet, work a single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Okay, we're going to chain 1, skip over the next single crochet, work a single crochet 2 together in the next 2 chain 1 spaces. So insert your hook into the next chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, skip over that single crochet, insert your hook into the next chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And chain 1, skip the next single crochet, work a single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip the next single crochet, work a single crochet 2 together in the next 2 chain 1 spaces. Okay, so insert your hook in the next chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, skip over the single crochet, insert your hook into the next chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So you continue around in that stitch pattern for round 1 of the crown shaping. I'll meet you back at the beginning of round 2. Okay, for round 2 of the crown shaping, it's similar to round 1 except for we're going to begin with a chain 2. We're going to skip over that first stitch, which is the single crochet 2 together from the previous round, and then we're going to work a single crochet 2 together into the next 2 chain 1 spaces, just like we did for round 1 of the crown shaping. So insert your hook in the first chain 1 space, pull up a loop, skip over that single crochet, insert your hook into the next chain 1 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Chain 1, skip over the next single crochet, which is a single crochet 2 together, work a single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip over the next stitch, work a single crochet 2 together into the next 2 chain 1 spaces, yarn over, pull up a loop. Chain 1, skip over the next stitch, single crochet into the next chain 1 space. So go ahead and continue, repeat that around, and when you get back to the beginning of the round, you join with a slip stitch into that first chain of the round. I'll meet you back at round 3. Okay, round 3 of the crown shaping is similar to round 1. You begin with a chain 1, and then we work a single crochet decrease into the first 2 chain 1 spaces. So insert your hook into the first chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. You're going to chain 1, skip over the next single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip over the next stitch, work a single crochet decrease in the next 2 chain 1 spaces. So continue around for round 3, complete the round, and I'll meet you back at the finishing section. Okay, my hat is all complete since I'm making a doll hat, and my opening is plenty small enough. Now if you're making the toddler, the child, the teen adult small, or the adult medium large, meet me at the finishing section. For the first round, you're going to work a single crochet into each stitch around. Each stitch could mean a single crochet 2 together, a chain one space or a single crochet. So single crochet around. At that point, you can choose to end your hat, or you can choose to add your elastic band. To add your elastic band, simply work a round 2 in the finishing and work your single crochets around the band. It might be kind of awkward at first to hold it, but hold it next to your work. When you insert your hook in the stitch, insert it through the band, grab your working yarn, and pull your working yarn through, up and over the band. And then finish your single crochet by yarning over and pull through both loops on your hook. Then you've secured the band to your hat with a single crochet. Okay? So to complete that round, simply single crochet around your elastic band. And then you'll fasten off and weave in all your ends. Now if you get to the point before finishing that you don't need to work an extra round of single crochet around, that's totally up to you if your hat is plenty tall enough. Like I said, for the doll size, the hat was plenty tall enough, so I'm going to leave the opening as is, so my daughter can easily pull the ponytail in and out of the hat. If I make it too tight, her little fingers might not be able to manipulate the hair and pull the doll's hair through. So that is it. I hope this has helped you create your linen stitch messy bun or ponytail hat. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment on the blog post or send me an email using the contact form at the bottom of the blog page. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.